Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Okay, so if you've ever felt anxiety, you know it's not just up here in your head.
No, definitely not.
It's really fundamentally physical, isn't it? That tight chest, maybe, or that restless energy, the pacing.
Yeah, or sometimes just feeling hot all of a sudden.
Exactly. It's more than distracting. It really proves that anxiety lives deep in the body, in our muscles, our breath.
Our whole nervous system, yeah.
And that's what we're diving into today.
That's right. So, traditional ways often look at thoughts first, but this deep dive, we're flipping that. We're starting with the body.
Accessing the physical system first.
Precisely. We want to distill the core ideas, the actual techniques, and importantly, the science behind what are called somatic exercises.
Right.
Our mission really is to give you a clear, kind of practical shortcut to understanding how simple intentional movement can directly help manage your mental state.
And we focused our sources on stuff you can use like right away. Immediate application. What are these practices? How do they actually give us some control over that fight or flight feeling? So let's unpack it. We hear somatic means of the body, basically. But what makes somatic exercises different? Why are they supposedly so effective for anxiety?
Well, the interesting thing is the main goal isn't just fitness, or flexibility like regular stretching.
Okay.
Somatic exercises are specifically designed movement practices meant to boost what's called interoception.
Interoception, internal awareness.
Exactly. Your awareness of your internal body signals. See, with anxiety, your body's often stuck on high alert, maybe without you even consciously knowing it.
Right, running in the background.
Yeah. So the core idea of somatic work is first noticing where you're holding that tension and then consciously using your body's own calming system to let it go.
So we're not trying to argue ourselves out of the anxiety. We're sending the body a safe signal instead.
That's a great way to put it.
How does that physical approach short-circuit the anxious thoughts maybe better than just trying to think differently?
It often comes down to speed and the mechanism itself. When anxiety spikes, your sympathetic nervous system, the SNS, kind of like the body's gas pedal, is floored.
Full throttle.
Right. And trying to reason with that panicked state while your body is still yelling danger is, well, it's hard.
Yeah, the body isn't listening to logic then.
Not really. But somatic practices, they work by directly stimulating the other system, the parasympathetic nervous system, the PNS. That's the brakes.
Okay, hitting the brakes. How?
Often it involves the vagus nerve. This is a huge nerve running from your brainstem down into your abdomen. Gentle, mindful movement, especially when you link it with slow breathing out.
The exhale.
Yes, the slow exhale sends a signal up that vagus nerve saying, essentially, hey, we're safe, you can power down. This PNS activation, it's a physical response. It happens much faster than trying to mentally reframe things.
Wow, okay. That deep physiological response, that seems key for anyone wanting to grasp this quickly. Using your body to tell your brain it's okay. And it sounds like it offers both quick relief hitting the brakes and maybe longer-term benefits, too.
Absolutely. That's the dual promise. When you practice these things consistently, you're not just getting a moment of calm. You're actually building resilience over time.
How so?
You improve your overall body awareness, that interoception we mentioned. So you start catching the early physical signs of anxiety, maybe just a little shoulder tension or your breath getting shallow.
And before it becomes a full-blown panic attack.
Exactly. You catch it much earlier when it's easier to manage. Okay, so to make this really practical for you listening, the sources point to three main types of simple, effective methods to start with. First, grounding techniques. Second, breathing intentionally but with movement. And third, the broader category of gentle movement, things like stretching or even just flowing.
Okay, let's start with grounding. I've heard of this. It's often suggested when you feel really disconnected, right? Like your thoughts are racing, you feel kind of floaty.
That's exactly when it's most useful. Grounding is all about pulling your attention back to the solid reality of the present moment. It stops that anxious mental loop.
Okay. What are some specific things you can actually do?
It's about focusing intensely on physical sensations. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 senses exercise. It's like that, but more body-focused. So really press your feet into the floor. Don't just stand there. Feel the floor. Is it hard, soft, textured? Or if you're sitting, put your hands flat on your legs or a table. Feel the solidness. Maybe lean into it a bit.
Feeling the physical contact.
Yes. Or even simple rhythmic things work wonders. gently rocking back and forth, shifting your weight slowly from one foot to the other. These small actions give your brain concrete anchor points. They stabilize you physically when your mind feels like it's spinning out.
It's fascinating how something so simple, like just noticing the pressure of your feet, can interrupt such big mental chaos.
It really is. The body responds to simple, clear signals.
Which leads us nicely into breathing and movement. We all kind of know deep breathing helps anxiety, but why is pairing it with movement so powerful for reducing tension?
Well, because it demands more of your attention, essentially. It fully occupies your brain. If you just sit and do, say, box breathing, inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4, that's great, powerful on its own.
Sure.
But now, add a slow, deliberate movement to it. Maybe raise your arms slowly overhead as you breathe in and lower them slowly as you breathe out.
Synchronizing it.
Exactly. You're engaging multiple parts of your brain at once: motor control, sensory input, breath regulation. It sort of crowds out the anxiety.
Blocks the mental space for worry.
You got it. You're increasing the signal of calm and reducing the noise of anxiety. The intentional slow movement just amplifies that safety message we talked about, helping to dial down that sympathetic nervous system faster.
So things like deep belly breathing or maybe alternate nostril breathing, they become even more effective when you sync them with, say, a slow hand gesture or just walking mindfully.
Absolutely. It creates this self-contained loop of calm. Very elegant, really.
Okay, so now the third category. Practices may be more focused on releasing long-term tension. Things like yoga, gentle stretching, even expressive dance. How do these differ in their approach? Like, if someone's already feeling overwhelmed and restless, wouldn't something really free-form like dance maybe feel chaotic?
That's a really important point, actually. The structure matters.
Okay.
For someone new to this or someone feeling really high anxiety in the moment, structure often feels safer. Yoga, particularly styles focusing on precise alignment or holding poses, think about a really supportive child's pose or legs up the wall.
Restorative yoga.
Exactly. That provides clear boundaries. Containment, it sends a signal to the nervous system that says, you are held, you are supported right now. And that structure itself can be incredibly calming for the fight or flight response. Dance, though, or other more free-form movement, that's fantastic for releasing stored energy, old tension, maybe stuck emotions.
So it's more about letting something out.
Yes. It lets you externalize feelings through movement.
Yeah.
Literally shake them off sometimes. If you feel pent-up frustration or just trapped energy, practices like expressive dance or even just intentional shaking allow that energy to flow through and out instead of staying stuck in your muscles.
So different tools for different needs. Structure for safety and containment, flow for release.
Precisely.
Oh.
Both incredibly valuable, but maybe you reach for one over the other depending on how you're feeling.
That distinction between structure and flow is really useful. Okay, we've covered the how-to. Let's ground this in some evidence. You mentioned science earlier. Is there data showing this stuff actually works?
Yes, and the research is definitely growing and strengthening the case. One finding that really jumped out from our sources was from a 2023 study. It tracked people doing regular somatic practices, and it found they improved their ability to notice anxiety symptoms early and respond to them effectively by, get this, 47%.
47%. That's huge. And just noticing it early.
In noticing and responding early. That's potentially the difference between managing a little wave of worry and getting swept away by a full anxiety episode.
Wow. And that ability to notice the physical cues first, that sounds exactly like what experts in trauma and the body, like Dr. Peter Levine or Dr. Rick Hansen, talk about.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Their work really highlights that anxiety, especially when it's chronic or related to trauma, is often experienced as stress physically trapped in the body.
You can't just think your way out of it.
Not entirely. Levine, for instance, talks a lot about needing to complete the biological defense cycle, using movement to physically discharge the energy that got mobilized for fight or flight but never got used.
Releasing that trapped energy.
Yes, it reinforces that this has to be a holistic approach. You need to address the mental stories, sure, but also the physical residue if you want lasting calm.
Which brings up a really practical question about integration. Lots of people listening might already be doing things like talk therapy, maybe cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT.
Very common.
So if we focus too much on the body stuff, are we maybe ignoring the cognitive work needed to understand why the anxiety is there in the first place? How do these approaches balance out?
That's a crucial point, and the sources are very clear on this. Somatic exercises are not meant to replace professional therapy or medical care, especially not for diagnosed anxiety disorders.
Okay, important caveat.
Definitely. Think of them as a powerful complement to traditional therapies.
How do they complement?
Well, think about CBT. It's great for identifying and changing those unhelpful thought patterns, but it can be really hard to do that work effectively if your body is constantly in a state of high alert.
Right. Yeah. It's hard to think clearly when you feel physically panicked.
Exactly. Somatic work helps create a calmer physical baseline. By easing muscle tension, activating that PNS, that brake system, it actually makes your brain more receptive to the cognitive work you're doing in therapy.
Ah, I see. So you calm the body so the mind can actually absorb the therapy better.
Precisely. They work together. It creates a more complete approach, tackling both the physical sensations and the underlying thoughts. Synergistic.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's bring it right down to the listener. You're listening, you're interested, you don't need fancy gear, you said. Where does someone actually start? How do you make this feel doable, not just another thing on the to-do list?
Start super, super small. Honestly, if this is totally new, maybe just commit to 3 minutes. 3 minutes of simple grounding, feeling your feet on the floor, or maybe just focusing on slow, deep belly breaths every morning.
Just 3 minutes.
Just 3 minutes, maybe while the kettle boils. The key is consistency, not duration at first. Do it sitting at your kitchen table. Then, as you start to feel comfortable, as you notice those little shifts in awareness, and you likely will, then you can gradually build.
Ow.
Maybe add 5 minutes of gentle stretching before bed, just whatever feels good, no pressure. Or find a short, beginner-friendly online yoga video focused on relaxation. The aim is to let that body awareness, that interoception, grow naturally over time. Small steps.
Small, consistent steps. Okay, but since we are talking about intentionally influencing the nervous system, safety must be a factor, right? Are there precautions people should take, especially if maybe there's past trauma involved?
Absolutely. Essential point. Safety first, always. If you do have diagnosed anxiety disorder, or if you know you have a history of trauma, the very first step should be talking to your doctor or a mental health professional. Just check if this kind of practice is suitable for your specific situation.
Get professional guidance.
Yes. And then, if you decide you want guided instruction, maybe a yoga class, a movement workshop, look specifically for instructors who are trauma-informed.
Trauma-informed, what does that mean in practice?
It means they're trained to understand how trauma affects the body and nervous system. They know how to offer choices, how to avoid movements or language that might inadvertently trigger distress. They prioritize creating a safe space where you feel completely in control of your own experience.
So they guide gently, ensuring it doesn't become overwhelming.
Exactly. It makes the whole practice much safer.
Yeah.
And ultimately much more effective in healing.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. What's the big takeaway for someone listening right now? We've talked about somatic exercises not just being stretching, but a direct line to calming the nervous system, offering both that immediate relief, hitting the PNS brakes, and building long-term resilience.
I think the most profound takeaway really is the sense of agency it gives you, the power you have within your own body.
Agency, meaning you can do something yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have the ability, just through something as simple as a mindful stretch or focusing on your breath for a moment, to actively send a message of safety to your own internal system.
It's not just wishful thinking, it's biological.
It's biological. You are literally interrupting that anxious feedback loop, shifting your state from alert, from tension, towards calm and balance.
So the final thought for you to maybe chew on
Is perhaps this. Think about your body right now. How much tension or energy might it be holding on to without you even realizing? And what's one simple, tiny somatic shift, maybe just unclenching your jaw or taking one slow breath into your belly that you could try today? How could that small action start changing the physical narrative inside you, moving towards lasting calm and resilience? That tiny move, that's where the freedom can begin.
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.